In today's video, I'm going to show you how to get a Line 6 Helix for just $100. Stay in this video. Welcome friends to Muisc Gear for Worship, where we make tutorials. We find tips and tricks for worship production. It's a blessing to be here with you, so let's get into the video. So I'm going to show you how I got a Helix for just $100. If you're an owner of a HX Stomp or an HX Effects, you qualify for a discount on Helix Native. Helix Native is the version of a plugin of your board, Helix LT, rack, floor, HX Stomp, HX Effects, and you can have it on your computer for just $100. Now, usually Helix Native, it's about $399. It's $400 if you just buy the plugin by itself. But if you already have an HX Stomp, you qualify for a discount. So what I did, since I had the HX Stomp, the HX Stomp XL, I had a Helix Floor, I did not qualify for a discount. So what I did is that I used the code that I have registered my Helix XL, and I bought Helix Native. And here are the results. And let's open up Reaper. There it is, and I have it as a VST3, which is great. It's a great VST. And here, as you can see, I'm running Helix Native. I already have a preset, but let's start from scratch. Let's build one just for fun from scratch. And I'm gonna show you a couple tips to make it sound even more realistic. So here's Helix Native, and I'm running it through Reaper. So let's start just really quick of how would I build a patch. So basically, the first thing I do is to change the settings. Now, depending on your computer, you can have more DSP power than a Helix Floor or a Helix Rack because you have this special button. That's why I sold my Helix HX, because I have more power here in my computer than even in a Helix Floor. And here's the thing. Here's the thing what makes this even better than a Helix. You can go here, let's do it again. So let me go back in here, and I'm gonna click on this button right here, which it looks like a tool. And then you're gonna go to hardware compatibility. You're gonna open that up. So depending on what hardware you have, you can make patches in here and make those patches match, copy them, and put them on your hardware. So all you have to do is go in here. Let's say you have a Helix Floor or Rack. You go in here, or an LT, and you change it to that. Let's just say you had a HX Effects, which I have. You go in here and you change it to HX Effects, and it changes the way the IO looks. Or let's say you have a Helix Stomp, and then it's going to tell you yes, and then it's going to change it again. Or you can change it here again, HX Stomp XL. You can change that, and it changes to a Helix XL. HX Stomp XL. But the feature that I use for this, because this is my main rig now, this is the only rig that I use, is I go here and I put off. Once you turn off your hardware compatibility, what is using the full power of your CPU, which has way more power depending how much RAM you have. It has way more power than a Helix Floor or Helix Rack. And that's amazing. That's why I love using this plugin, and that's why I sold my HX XL, because I had no more use for it. And sometimes I don't even have to come with my MIDI controller. I can have a tiny MIDI controller with 4 buttons or whatever, and that's it. That's all you need. I can have presets up or down. I can use Ableton and Helix at the same time. With Ableton, I can run my loops, my tracks, and with my Helix HX Effects, I can control Ableton and as well as controlling Helix Native. That makes it amazing. So even though I have my hardware, I can use it also as a, what can you say it, as a MIDI controller, and I have all these options at my fingertips at all times. So if you're a person that doesn't have the money for a Helix Floor or HX Stump, you can get together with somebody and say, hey, you have a Helix HX Stump. Why don't we go half and half and we buy Helix Native? Or let's say 4 of you get together and it's only going to cost you 20 bucks. I mean, 5 of you, 20 bucks, and you have Helix, a Helix in your computer for 5 people. That's 20 bucks a pop. All right, so this is really cool. So let me go in here, close that. We're gonna leave it off, and we're gonna close it. Now we have full potential. This is exciting. So let me grab my guitar. Where are you? Oh, so let me show you this. This is an amazing guitar. This is my D'Angelico Bedford. I love this guitar. The offset, the look, the pickups are amazing, and I think this is a great acoustic. I was gonna say acoustic. This is a great electric guitar. It's like mid-price. Is amazing. I really like this guitar. So let me put my headphones on because I have it connected to a small mixer, and the mixer is going straight for the recording. All right, so let's start building a patch, and the first two things I always place is my amp and my cabinet. It's something really cool with the new version of Helix or HX Stomp is that you have a dual cabinet now. They are okay, so let's go to cab, and we're gonna go dual cab, which is the new feature in Helix Native. And let me start with one of my favorites, which is the Bluebell. And my second cabinet, we're gonna go for, let's see, let's go with a silver bell. Okay, so now let's change the microphones. On the first one, I'm gonna use 67 condenser now. My two favorite, it's a Ribbon 121, and right almost around there, very close distance in between the cap and the cone. And let's go into the Bluebell, and that one, let's see what they have. Let's see if they have a 420, 414. 160 ribbon, which is a bare dynamic that I really like. I'm gonna put it, let's say, more towards the cap, and I'm gonna leave it there. Okay, so now let's grab my pre, so, or my head, my cabinet. So let's go in here and go down, and for my amp head, I'm gonna use my favorite, which is an AC30. Let's use the bright for 35. Oh, okay, great. And now I'm gonna change this to go down to the 2A. So when you change that, it sends the signal from 2A to down here. And now, wow, it's jumpy. So let's put a little bit less drive. Bring the cut. That's too much cut. I like. I mean, it sounds great. It sounds way better than the legacy cabinets that you used to have. This sounds way better. It feels way better as well. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do some changes. Instead of using this ribbon, let's see if I can um, do some changes. I do want to have control of this. Let's go pan center. No, I'm gonna go hard right in this one. I mean hard left. This one I'm gonna go same. I'm gonna pan them completely and pan all the way here, and they should sound different. Make sure you have a good set of in-ears or headphones. Now, one trick that I learned is that if I want to make it sound a little bit more realistic, I add the tube comp. As you can see, there it is. It gives me, you can see it's reducing a lot. So the level, I'm gonna put it a little bit higher, but the threshold, maybe around 69. And this changes the tone of my guitar. Even though it's boosting a little bit, this makes it sound a little bit more organic. I really like this tone already. So I'm gonna keep maybe this one here, and I'm gonna do a compression at the beginning. I always use it. My go-to is the deluxe comp. I usually compress at 2:1, and my threshold is always around 20. So that's a lot. Another thing that I change is my level. I keep it at 0. I don't want any more compression added, so I'm gonna keep it at 0 -3 -4. There you go. The knee, I'm gonna put it a little bit lower. I don't want it to be so sharp. Mix, it's gonna stay as is. The attack, we're gonna lower it a little bit, and the rest we just leave it alone. And these are I don't know if you can hear the difference, but it sounds a lot better. Let me take off these 2 compressions. They sound very thin. Let me add them again. See, it doesn't sound that great with them off. With them off. Let's turn them on. All right, so let me make some changes. There's a little bit too much drive on it. And let me do the cut a little bit more because I like it bright. All right, and this is the basic setup that I always do before I throw in effects. Now you can just grab all the drives that you want, and usually my go-to, I go to distortions, and my first overdrive is always a Minotaur, and then my other go-to distortion, it's the King of Tone. You can use the pedal one. I think this one's better, and I like to use it as a distortion. Let's put the gain down a little bit right there. Presence, you just leave it there. Maybe a third one that I love using in my distortions or kind of overdrive is the send drive. Where are you? Where are you? Send drive, send drive. The Dyna drive, which is this one. This is a send drive clone, so let's lower it right there. Voice, let's give it a little bit more presence. Tone, we'll leave it there, and then the level. These are my 3 go-to that I always use. A Minotaur, the what is it? The tone air, the air apparent, and the what's called the Dana drive or Dyna drive or the Hyena drive, which is a what do you call that? It's a send drive. This is a King of Tone, and this one's a Minotaur clone. Now let's add some reverb, which I always put at the end. I always use 2 reverbs, and one of my favorite is this dynamic plate or dynamic hall. This is like my favorite go-to. And my other drive that I use, which is on Legacy. Well, I should be using stereo, so let's change this to stereo. And I'm gonna throw another one and see if we have a stereo. Well, let's just leave it like that for now. But on the Legacy, one of my favorite reverbs is this particle verb, and it sounds like a shimmer, swell, drone style. And usually I like this to dwell around, I think it's 35. No, it's around 75%. The mix, I leave it around 25, I believe. Stable, and then trails on. Now let's throw some delays. One of my favorite one it's the vintage delay. And let's turn on the tap. Quarter note, that's perfect. Feedback, that's about right. Mix a little bit lower. I like 16-bit. I'm gonna leave it there in my headroom all the way up. We're also gonna turn on trails. It's very easy. Okay, so let's go to another delay. Another one of my favorites is this Andratic delay. And that one, this is basically the core of my tones. I can add a little bit of more, what can I call it? I can use a little bit more of delay, more reverb. One thing that I sometimes love to add, it's, what are you? Is this filter here? Okay, so, um, what's a pitch? Okay, it's right here. And the pitch and synth. And it's a 12 string simulator. So let's go finger picking to finger picking. Let's go normal. All right, so I put the 12 string and with the particle verb and the delay, it sounds something like this. That sounds pretty cool, but that's something I like doing just to add a little bit more to my sound. And that's with no drives whatsoever. Let me see. Add a little bit of Minotaur. I'm gonna turn them on again, and it sounds like this. Let's add another drive. Let's change the tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty massive. So let's turn on both delays and let's see how it sounds. That's a little too much, maybe not with the particle verb, but it gives you an idea what you can do with all these effects, right? It's making a lot of noise. Just with the plug-in. I mean, this is very easy to do in the Helix floor, but now what you can do is, if I get a little crazy, let's say I have 2 cabs here, and let's say I want to add something else to it. Okay, let's just start modifying. Now what I can do here is, let's say I want to go with another amp. I want 2 amps. So let's grab another one of my favorite. I have the AC30. I'm gonna go with Litigator, which is one of my favorites, and I'm gonna drag it down. Now I have 2 pads, but also I'm gonna grab this and bring it down here, where I have another pad going into here. So those 2 amps are going in this row, but let me do something even further. Let me leave this here, leave this here, leave this here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change this to a single cab, right? Bluebell, right? I'm gonna go to this block right here and I'm gonna add another cab. Or I can use 4 cabs if I want to, but I'm gonna use another guitar cab, and here on this side, I'm gonna use a, no, I'm using a preamp, so I just need a cabinet. Let's go cab, and let's use a, what am I using? Okay, let's go with the matchless G35 or H30. No, I had the silver bell. Okay, so we put the silver bell. I'm gonna bring it down, and now from here, I'm gonna pan it down here. So if I go here, this is going to center. I'm gonna go completely right, and here I'm gonna go completely left. Okay, so that's why. So I'm gonna bring that here, and on this side, I'm gonna move it here. So let's go tone A and tone B. And then here we're gonna do the same. Tone A is going here. Okay, let's try that again. That little solo. Let's put the 12 string and just one of the delays at dotted eighth. Let's turn off the particle reverb. No, let's take that one. Okay, so it would sound like this. Yeah, lots of sustain. That is amazing. And I didn't even put the compressor at the beginning of the signal, which will give me a little bit more. Anyways, so now with all this done this way, I can start putting MIDI to it. And what I can do is go here with controller assign, and I would select something. Let's say I will select this distortion, and I'll say that's switch number 1, distortion 2, put switch number 2, distortion 3, that's going to be switch number 3. Delay, this delay, it's going to be switch number 4. This one, we're going to put in switch number 5. And my particle verb, it's going to be switch number 6. So once you have this effects going in here, what you can do now is to map them to the MIDI controller, whichever MIDI controller you're using, and have them control it. You have, what other options do I have? And once you have it here, you put MIDI learn, you click your MIDI controller as long as it's reading, and you assign it this way, right here with this button. Let's say I go here, my hydraulic delay, I put learn, click the button, and it should learn the effect. All right, so now I save it. So I just go in here and let's put it YouTube, Helix 2023. And that's gonna be my patch. I'm gonna leave this patch in the comment section below. It's going to be in the description, a link so you can download and mess with it. But you have to have the newer version. What version am I using? 3.6. So I'm using version 3.6. All right, friends, thank you so much for staying at the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please hit the link, the like button. Don't hit the link. Hit the link for to download the preset. Hit the bell button so YouTube lets you know every time we make a new video. And if you want to help us even further, which we will really appreciate it, I will really appreciate it, there's a link to our website store where you can buy input responses for electric guitar and acoustic guitars, where you will help us pay for the bill so we continue making videos for you. That's it for today. I hope that this video was of value to you, and it's a blessing to be with you today. If you have a suggestion or a comment, you know where to do it in the comment section below. And if you have a question and we don't know the answer, we will find out and probably we'll learn something new. That's it for today, friends. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Ciao.